Hi guys, welcome to the surface method of irrigation part 2. I hope you have already watched the part 1 of surface method of irrigation. If you have not watched it, then I have put the link in the description box. Please watch that video, that was very interesting. And in this video, we are going to discuss about surface method of irrigation part 2. So keep watching this video. And don't forget to subscribe the channel and follow me in Instagram or Telegram. Links are in the description box. So let's start today's lecture. Then coming to next question, that is, in any case, the stream size should not exceed dash liter per second in furrow irrigation. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about furrow irrigation. Then about furrow irrigation, what we have already discussed, about the slope. That is, for furrow irrigation, the minimum slope requirement is 0.05% and the maximum slope is 0.5%. Up to 0.5% we can go for furrow irrigation. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the stream size. So stream size we should decide based on the soil type and the slope. But remember this thing, the usual stream size for furrow irrigation is 0.5 liter per second. So this is the usual stream size. But the maximum stream size means the upper limit above which we should not go, that is the 3 liter per second. So remember the answer, that is 3 liter per second is the upper limit of the stream size in case of furrow irrigation. But it is interesting to note that in case of border irrigation or bay irrigation, the size of stream starts from 2 to 3 liter per second. Means in case of border irrigation, heavy texture soil will have lower stream size that we have discussed. So in case of heavy texture soil, the stream size is 2 to 3 liter per second. But in case of light texture soil, the stream size can go up to 10 to 12 liter per second. So in case of border irrigation or bay irrigation, the stream size starts from 2 to 3 liter per second. But in case of furrow irrigation, the maximum stream size, that is 3 liter per second. So here it is clear that in case of border or bay irrigation, the water requirement is higher as compared to furrow irrigation. Okay, then coming to next question, that is, as a rule, space between two adjacent furrow in the fine sand soil should be 30 centimeter, 60 centimeter, 75 centimeter, or 155 centimeter. So this question is about the furrow spacing. Means what should be the optimum space between two furrows. Okay, so the optimum space between two furrows depends on the soil texture. So how soil texture will decide the furrow spacing, that we'll see from this figure. So here 3 figures are there. Here shows the water distribution or wetting pattern in different soils. Figure A, figure B, and figure C. And quickly say me which figure is for which soil. So by seeing this figure, tell me the figure 1 or figure A is for which soil, figure B is for which soil, and figure C is for which soil. Okay, so quickly write the correct answer in the comment section. So now I am going to tell the answer. That is, in case of figure A, the soil type or soil texture is sandy soil, because in case of sandy soil, the lateral infiltration is lower. We have already discussed in infiltration class. Infiltration can be of 2 types: vertical infiltration and horizontal infiltration. Okay, vertical infiltration means when water enters vertically, and horizontal infiltration, that is somewhat similar to seepage. It means lateral flow of water. So here we can see in case of sandy soil, water is mostly going through the vertical infiltration, and when the excess water goes through a limited area, then it leads to the percolation loss. That is the reason why sandy soil has higher percolation loss. But in case of medium texture or loamy soil, here we can see some amount of horizontal infiltration is also going on. At the same time, vertical infiltration is also there and horizontal infiltration is also going on. But in case of heavy texture soil, vertical infiltration is limited and horizontal limitation is higher than the loamy soil and the sandy soil. Okay, so the figure A is for sandy soil, figure B is for loamy soil, and figure C is for heavy texture soil or clay soil. So here we can see the optimum row spacing between different furrows, between two adjacent furrows, means the space between two adjacent furrows should be such that it should be overlapped to each other. It should be overlapped to each other, means the water distribution in this furrow should overlap the water distribution of the adjacent furrow, so that when we'll grow or crop the when we'll grow the crop or sow the crop on the top of the ridge, then this water will be available to the plant through the capillary. Okay, that is the principle why we should give optimum furrow spacing depending on the texture, because the wetting pattern, this wetting pattern depends on the soil type or soil texture, and we should have the overlapping wetting pattern so that the crop can get the optimum water. Then coming back to this question, the correct answer will be 60 centimeter. So remember, for fine sand, the optimum furrow to furrow spacing should be 60 centimeter. For coarse sand, it is 30 centimeter, means 30 centimeter spacing should be there between two adjacent furrows. And for heavy texture soil, it is 75 to 150 centimeter. So the reason is simple, because in case of coarse sand, the lateral flow is very less, so we should have closure spacing. But in case of coarse sand or in case of fine sand, it is somewhat lateral movement is there, but in case of heavy soil, the lateral movement is there. That's why we can have a larger furrow spacing. Okay, but when the furrow spacing is not overlapping with each other, when the two furrows water distribution is not overlapping to each other, then the crop root zone may remain dry. So that is the reason why we should have overlapping furrow wetting pattern. And to have overlapping furrow wetting pattern, depending on the texture, we should give optimum furrow spacing. So this is all about furrow spacing. Then coming to next question, that is dash shaped furrow is suitable for sandy soil. V-shaped or U-shaped or W-shaped. So the correct answer of this question, V-shaped furrow should be suitable in case of sandy soil. What is the reason? The reason is that in case of sandy soil, the infiltration rate is higher, percolation loss is higher. We have already discussed that. So in case of sandy soil, the exposure of soil should not be high, because if soil is more exposed to water, then more water will be infiltrated and more percolation loss will be there. So to avoid the exposure of soil, we should have a narrow V-shaped furrow having a narrow bottom. Okay, so this is for sandy soil. And for clay soil, here we can see the clay soil, the infiltration rate is slower, but we need higher infiltration so that we should get the soil more exposed to the irrigation water. That is the reason in case of clay soil, wider furrows, means U-shaped furrows are made. So this is all about the shape of the furrow. Then coming to next question, that is in saline soil under furrow irrigation, seeds should be shown on the top of the ridge or bottom of the furrow or side of the ridge or on the sunny side of the ridge. So here the correct answer is the seeds should be shown on the side of the ridge. So I have given different conditions. So when we should sow the crop on the top of the ridge, we should sow the crop on the top of the ridge when the crop is sensitive to waterlogging. When we want that crop should not come in contact with water. So under that situation, we can sow the crop on the top of the ridge. But when the crop water requirement is higher, the crop can tolerate waterlogging. Under that situation, we can grow crops in the furrow. And this can be practiced in drier areas when very limited water is available. So under that situation, we can sow the crop in furrows to save the irrigation water. So what about saline soil? So try to understand this. In saline soil, when we apply irrigation water, the irrigation water is evaporated from the top of the soil. So that is the reason why the salt will be accumulated in top of the ridge. So remember this thing, in saline soil, due to application of irrigation, the salt accumulation is there on the top of the ridge. So to avoid the adverse effect of salt, we should sow the crop on the side of the ridge. Okay, so avoid sowing the crop on the top of the ridge under saline soil condition. Then coming to next, that is in case of temperate area or colder area. So in case of temperate or colder area, we should sow the crop in the sunny sides. Okay, sunny sides of the furrow or sunny side of the ridge means when the solar radiation is higher. Where the solar radiation is higher, we should sow the crops there so that the temperature can be maintained. Okay, so this is all about different sowing pattern on the ridge in ridge and furrow method of irrigation. Then coming to next question, it is very important question. To reduce percolation loss, DAS rule is generally followed to determine the time required for water to travel from farm channel to the end of the furrow. The options are half time rule, quarter time rule, full time rule, or 3/4 time rule. So the correct answer of this question is quarter time rule. Then what is this quarter time rule? This quarter time rule says that the time required for water to travel from farm channel to the end of the furrow. So here we can see this is the farm channel, this is the end of the furrow. So the time required for water to move from the farm channel to the end of the furrow. So to complete this path, the time requirement is 1/4 of the time required to fill the plant root zone. To fill the plant root zone. So remember this thing. The time required to fill the plant root zone is also known as contact time. So remember this thing, it is the contact time. So time required to fill the plant root zone is known as contact time, and quarter rule says that the time required for water to travel from farm channel to the end of the furrow should be 1/4 of the contact time. Okay, now I will give a small numerical to understand the concept. But before that, we should understand the importance of this concept. Why this concept is important? This concept is important to determine the stream size, because a ideal stream size is required for uniform distribution of water. In this figure, we can see when the stream size is lower. In this figure, when the stream size is lower, means the application rate is slower. We are applying water at a slower rate. Then irrigation water never reaches the end of the furrow, because the irrigation water will be drained out at the starting of the furrow. Okay, so the stream size to be ideal one, so that it should easily cover the soil surface and it should easily travel from the farm channel to the end of the furrow. So to determine that, we should follow the quarter time. So it means the stream size should be such that it should easily cover the land surface within the stipulated time. So now I will give a small example. So here we can see, if to apply 70 millimeter water, the contact time is 74 minutes, then irrigation water should cover the field in 18 to 90 minutes, or 20 to 25 minutes, or 10 to 15 minutes, or 30 to 35 minutes. So here contact time means the time required to fill the root zone. Okay. So to fill the root zone, 74 minute time is required. It means to fill the root zones with 70 millimeter water, 74 minute time is required. Then what should be the optimum requirement of time for reaching water from the farm channel to the end of the furrow? So what should be the time? Okay, so here we'll apply the quarter rule, and quarter rule says that the time requirement for water movement from the farm channel to the end of the furrow is 1/4 of the contact time. So it is 74 into 1/4. So it is 18.5 minutes. So it means 18 to 19 minutes time is required for water to move from the farm channel to the end of the furrow. So we should design the stream size such that water should require 18 to 19 minutes to move from the farm channel to the end of the furrow. If we cannot modify the stream size, then we should reduce the length of the furrow. Okay, then coming to next question, that is if the required irrigation depth is 50 millimeter, the available stream size is 20 liter per second, and the size of the field is 75 into 50 meter, then the total irrigation time is dash. So remember this formula, the irrigation time. I can derive this, but I'll not derive because it will take time. So I'll just give the short formula. You just remember this. So irrigation time in hour, it will be 2.78 into irrigation depth. Irrigation depth is in millimeter into area, that is in hectare, divided by stream size. Stream size is in liter per second. So all the units are same as here it is given, except the field size. So we have to convert the field size into hectare. That is 70 into 50 meters. That is 3750 meters square. So that is 0.375 hectare. So by putting all these values here, we can get the irrigation time, that is 2.78 into irrigation depth is 50 millimeter into area is 0.375 hectare divided by stream size is 20 liter per second. So by solving this, we can get, it will be 2.6 hours, and 2.6 hour can be converted into minutes, that is 156 minutes. So here 156 minutes is the time required to complete the irrigation. Okay, here we can also apply the quarter time rule to decide or to determine the time requirement. What is the time required for irrigation water to reach the end of the furrow from the farm channel? Okay, farm channel to end of the furrow. So the time requirement we can also calculate by this quarter rule. And here if the total irrigation time is 156 minutes, then the quarter rule says that that is 1/4 of 156 minutes, that is 39 minutes. So 39 minutes time is required for water to move from the farm channel to the end of the furrow, to have a uniform water distribution throughout the field. Okay, so this is all about irrigation time and quarter time estimation. Then coming to next question, that is the semi-automated method of irrigation cavalgation was developed in which country? So the correct answer of this question is USA. Then what is this cavalgation system? So for better understanding, I have drawn this figure for you. Here we can see there are three main systems of the cavalgation. That is the cable system. Okay, this is the first important thing. The second important thing is the movable plug. Then the third important thing is the tilting angle. This tilting angle is very, very important, because due to this tilting angle, the water will be in a gentle slope inside the gated pipe. Okay, so here we can see three types of furrows are present. Already irrigated furrows, the furrows which are under irrigation, and the furrows which are to be irrigated. Here we can see the outlets which are present just behind the movable plug. These furrows are not irrigated. It means this movable plug is blocking water. Okay, the function of movable plug is to block the water so that subsequent outlets will not get the water. So here these furrows are not irrigated yet. Then the next thing is that the just outlets which are just nearer to the movable plug, here we can see the water pressure is higher, and due to the slope of the gated pipe, this tilting angle, this water can reach the outlet, and this water can come out of the outlet and irrigate the crop. So here these two furrows are under irrigation. Means the furrows or the outlets which are nearer to the movable plug, and the pressure is the highest just nearer to the movable plug. And then the outlets which are present away from the movable plug, these outlets are already irrigated. We can see here the fields or the furrows which are present below these outlets, these are already irrigated. And when we know that when the movable plug is present, the pressure will be higher. That's the reason why the water will come out of the outlet. But here we can see when the movable plug is away, here we can see the water level is not sufficiently high to reach the outlet. That is the reason why water will not come out of this outlet, because due to this tilting angle, water will not come out of this outlets. Okay, I hope the concept of cavilgation is clear to you. Then coming to next question, that is, which method of irrigation is suitable for medium and heavy texture soil that are prone to surface crusting? So the correct answer of this question is corrugation. Corrugation is the shallow furrow irrigation. Shallow furrow irrigation. Shallow furrow irrigation means the depth of the furrow is just 6 to 8 centimeter, and the length of the furrow is also lesser. So this shallow furrow irrigation or corrugation is somewhat related to reels, means small reels are prepared throughout the field, and it will not cover the whole field. Okay, so here the main principle is that it is practiced in case of medium and heavy texture soil having lateral flow of water, means lateral or horizontal infiltration should be there, so that when we apply irrigation in the shallow furrow, then water can move laterally and cover the whole field. Okay, this is the principle, and it is generally practiced in case of small grain crops like wheat crop. Okay, and furrow irrigation is generally practiced in row crops like maize, groundnut, potato, okay, cotton, sugarcane. In that, furrow irrigation is practiced. Border strip is practiced in close growing crops like alfalfa, pasture, wheat. We can also go for we can also go for groundnut. So these are the crops. Okay, remember, corrugation is also practiced in case of crops which have sown through broadcasting. This is also an important question. Okay, the corrugation can be practiced in the crops which have sown through broadcasting. Okay, so remember these small things which can be asked in your examination. So this is all about surface method of irrigation. Drip method of irrigation and sprinkler method of irrigation we'll cover in the subsequent classes. And if you like the video, don't forget to press the like button and share the video with your friends, and do subscribe this channel so that we can have a live interaction with you. So thank you for listening. Take care.